Welcome to the live video. Just trying to make sure I'm good, or at least good enough. So, wherever you're watching from, look, I appreciate you being here. I know that there's a bunch of things that you could be doing today, but you're not. You're doing these things here with me today, and I'm okay with that. So, if you're okay with it, I'm okay with it, and that's all that matters. So, let's see. So, if you are new to any of my channels, whether it be this channel, whether it be my Middleman CEO Facebook, my Middleman CEO Instagram, whether you're on the Middleman CEO YouTube channel or the Minority Money Mindset YouTube channel, uh, I appreciate you guys being here. So we're going to talk today, not for long, but we're just going to talk about something that's very, very important. And I know a lot of you don't think about it this way, but I do, because the reason I think about things a certain way is because, well, honestly, I can't afford not to. And so, well, what does that mean? That means that I realize that I'm running out of time. I realize that one day I'm not going to wake up, right? I realize that one day I'll be in the grave. And so now that I understand that, to me, that puts like motivation behind uh, anything that I want to achieve in my life. So I'm a big believer in the idea of going fast. So I think we make the mistake, and we don't mean any harm by it, but I think we make the mistake a lot of times of saying, "Hey, don't worry about it, you have time." And I think that's not true, because if you think about it, time is actually the one thing we don't have. Time is actually the one thing we don't get back. We don't have enough of it. We just don't control it. And so I stop telling people, hey, you have time. From now on, I just say, hey, whatever you want to do it quickly. Don't be reckless, but go as fast as you can. So whatever it is you want to do it as quickly as you can. Don't be reckless, right? And so I learned very quickly, like, because I've had a job since I've probably been in high school. And I learned very quickly that, wait a minute, I don't like working for people. I don't like people telling me what to do. I don't like people controlling my time. I don't like having to sell my life to get a paycheck. And as I got older, it started to, like, weigh on me that, wait a minute, this is not how I want to live. I understand that I have one life to live on this earth, and this ain't it. This ain't how I want to live. And, I went through some hard times. I went through some ups, some downs, mostly downs, way downs. And I learned that, in going through those experiences, you start to figure some stuff out. And because people say, like things, no matter what you go through, it has a way of working out for you. Well, it does if you learn from it. Now, if you don't learn from it, it's not going to help you, because it's going to work out for you either way, in the negative or the positive. I prefer to work out for you in the positive. And I was just like, you know what? I'm trading my life. I'm trading my time. I want to do some things. I can't do it. I want to hang out, friends, family. Can't do it. Got to be at work. Got to trade. Got to pay for my life. Went and financed this car. Now I have a 5-year note. Went and financed this house, and now I got a 30-year mortgage. And what does that look like? Well, it looks like I don't control my time. It looks like I have to sell my time to make money. And when I learned this, I decided, eventually at some point I was never going to work again. I was never going to work a job again, because the one thing I wanted more than money, more than anything, was just freedom. I wanted time freedom. I didn't have to be rich. I didn't have to be a millionaire. I didn't have to make millions of dollars. I knew that the most important thing in this life, and I'm glad I figured this out just recently, but now I'm telling you so you could be, ahead of the schedule. You don't have to wait until you're 25, 30, 35, 40 to understand that, wait a minute, time is the most valuable commodity I have on this earth. So let me do everything I can to consume as much of it as I possibly can. Right? And so with that mindset, you learn very quickly that, wait a minute, So if time is the most important thing I have on this earth, then anything that takes my time away is not good for me. It's not healthy for me, right? And so I realized that, wait a minute, 40 hours a week just to make enough money to get by is not how I want to live. Is not freedom. 2,500 hours a year driving in traffic, uh, almost getting run over by people that are late for work. Did you know that, most heart attacks and strokes happen on Monday mornings during the hours of 8 and 9 a.m.? You know what happens on Monday mornings, 8 and 9 a.m.? People are going to work. People are completely stressed out about going to work, keeping these jobs to maintain their livelihood. It's literally killing them. Jobs are killing people, putting them in graveyards because they hate what they do, they're not fulfilled, and they don't want to do it. But since they don't know any other way to make money, they have to continue to sell their lives until they sink into depression and something goes wrong. I don't want that to happen to you. I don't want that to happen to me. And so that's what this video is about, is me making up making the decision that I'll never work another job again, or you hearing me out and then you making the decision I'll never work another job again. Now, that does not mean go quit your job today. It's not what I'm telling you. I'm not here to convince you of that. I'm just here to say, because that ain't a smart thing to do. What's smart is you learn how to make money when you're not at work, so that very, very soon you can leave your job, right? And your job can't control your life. They can't persuade you to come back because you're free. The only thing that's going to keep you from going back to your job is freedom. It's not a dollar amount. If you're after the money, then anybody can buy your time. It's for sale. I dare you not to sell your time. If you're about the money and your current job is paying you $15 an hour and the company across the street is willing to pay you $20, then your time, your life's just going to go to the highest bidder. And then the third company is willing to pay you $25. You're going to continue to sell your life. It's just going to go to the highest bidder no matter what you do. Whoever bids the highest, they get to control your life. I don't like giving up that kind of control. I don't like people controlling my life by controlling my time. So what am I saying? I'm saying if you depend on a paycheck, your responsibility is always to make as much money as you can with that paycheck because it's your only source of income. Well, what happens if you take your paycheck away? Then everything happens that's bad. Everything cataclysmic happens because you broke the first rule. You don't know how to make money when you're not at work. Now, I dare you to learn how to make money in your spare time. And don't tell me you don't have spare time. You know what's on television. You know what games are coming on. You know the schedule. You have plenty of spare time. You just are not willing to do it or commit to it to change your life. So if you set aside the things that distract you and have no value, you'll have plenty of spare time. If you watch Cat Williams' interview for 2 hours, that's 2 hours you could have been reading a book to change your life, watching a video, taking a course, watching YouTube to change your life. If you know what's going on between Drake and what's the other guy, Kendrick Lamar, I believe, then you have time. If you know what's happening on Desperate Hip Hop Wives of Basketball Atlanta, you have time, right? If you know all of P. Diddy's business, you have time. See, you have plenty of time. That's a misnomer. You have plenty of time. It's just the fact that you're not willing to dedicate that time to improving your life. Now, I dare you to turn off all those things that are irrelevant. That's not going to help you at all. You distance yourself from that. Sometimes it's not people you have to distance yourself from. Sometimes it's just things. If you distance yourself from certain things, I promise you it's going to change your life. But you've got to get away from it. You got to get away from certain things. Right? I used to be a big sports guy. I was watching all the sports day and night, stuff like that. Now I'm like, what's on? Who's playing? Don't know. Don't try to keep up with it. Right? Because I'm focused on, you know what? Those people are rich. They're millionaires. Let me get there. Let me work on myself so I can get to where they are. So be intentional about your time. Be intentional about your goals. Be intentional about what you want to achieve in this life. This life is short. It's not going to last long. It's not going to last long. You live 90 years, not long. You live 190 years, not long. This life's going to go by. And so when I figured out that time is the most important thing I got in this world, then I don't want to let it go. You can't buy it. I refuse to sell it. I made up my mind that I would not sell my time. I don't care who you are. You can't buy it. I'm not giving it to you. But hey, you need this money. No, I don't. I put myself in a position where I don't need your money. You may offer me more than what I make at home, but you cannot offer me freedom. If I make 100 grand at home and you're willing to pay me 150,000, you can keep it. If I make 100 grand at home, you're willing to pay me 200,000 to come to work, you can keep it. You can keep it. I'll take the freedom and the less money. Does that make sense? So what I did in 2020 changed my life forever. Somebody said, that's what I want, complete freedom, 100%. Because I want to share something with you, and I know I'm on a couple of platforms right here, guys. So I'll just say, if you're not on any of my platforms, Facebook, Middleman CEO, Instagram, Middleman CEO, follow me. If you're not on my YouTube channels, Middleman CEO. I also have Minority Money Mindset, teach you to think like the minority when it comes to finances. I'm going to say a lot of stuff that's controversial, but I don't need you to come at me. I just need you to listen. And if it makes sense for you, go with it. If it does not make sense, I respect it. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just telling you from my perspective what I would do. Is that fair? Because people are like, you can't tell people don't buy houses. I'm not telling you that. I'm just telling you I wouldn't buy a house with a paycheck. Done it. No, thank you. But we all want freedom. Freedom is the most important thing that we have in this world, outside of our families. And we want the freedom so that we can spend time with our families, spend time with your kids, spend time with your spouse, spend time with people you care about. How many times have you been in a situation, and this has happened to me a lot, how many times have you been in a situation where you're like, man, I want to do this thing, whatever it is. And then you get closer to the time, you either get a non-approval from your job because they tell you we need you, you can't go. Or your money's not where it needs to be and you have to go to work because you need the money. And you're sitting there like, man, this thing will probably never come around again. I didn't get to go on this cruise. I didn't get to go and visit Africa. I didn't get to go to the Bahamas because I got to do this thing called work because they taught me to rely on a paycheck. They didn't teach me that the paycheck was going to cost me all my freedom. They didn't tell me that, right? I followed the system. I played by the rules, and I don't feel like I'm winning. Somebody, like Martin say, somebody got some splaining to do, baby. Some splaining. If you want, I always say this, if you want to find the poorest people, find the people who are working the hardest. Those are usually the poorest people, whether it's mentally poor, whether they are physically unhealthy, whether they're financially strapped, they're stressed out, they're overworked, they're depressed. All that means poor, right? They're in debt up to their eyeballs. They can't even see. They got so much consumer debt. Every time they get a dollar, they exchange it for stuff. They never exchange it for seed. Right? They don't exchange it for seed. They exchange it for things they need, but they don't exchange it for the seed. If you put the seed in the ground, you can have everything you need because the seed's going to grow and produce fruit. So I'm here to convince you, hopefully, and by the way, if you have a question or comment, you're welcome to drop it. If I see it, I'll get to it. I'm here to convince you that life is because you guys make the mistake of thinking life is about money. Life is not about money. Life is about time. I'll say that again. Life is not made up of money. Life is made up of Time. On your grave, on anybody's tombstone, what does it say? From $0 to $10,000? So does it say 0-10,000? This person lived at $0, was born at $0, died at 10,000? No, does not say that. What does it say? It says this person was born this year and died this year. I'm telling you that life is about time. Now, for those of you who believe that money is time, or that time is money, or that money is more important than time, let me talk to you. Let me ask you a question. All right, here we go. So, let's say that I wrote you a check right now for $10 million. And let's say you could go down to the bank, my bank right now, and they're waiting to cash it. They're going to cash it 100%. All you have to do is pass it to them. They're going to come out, put $10 million in your trunk. Your money. Good to go. The only catch is that as soon as you cash the check, this is your last day, you die. When you go to bed tonight, you will not wake up tomorrow morning. Now, if you believe that money is more important than time, then cash the check. But if you're like me and you believe that time is more important than money, then you won't cash the check. What if they add another zero? 100 million. Still won't cash it. $1 billion. Won't cash it. Doesn't matter how many zeros you put on there. I ain't cashing it. Because it's no good without time. Right? So, money, in order to be valuable, needs time. But time, in order to be valuable, also needs money. Let me show you why. Because if you want your time back, you're going to have money to buy back your time. So if you work a job today and you make $60,000 a year, that job requires you to go to work every week, 40 hours a day, 2,500 hours a year. It's just 60 grand, but it takes all of your time. Now, if you make the same 60 on a business that didn't require you to leave the house, then you're making the same money, but you got your time back. I'd rather make less money than you without having to sell my time, without having to leave the house. If you're making 100 grand a year and selling 40 hours a week, I would take 50,000 a year and go home. Right? I would take 50 a year and go home. So if you have a question or comment, again, go ahead and drop it. Somebody said, let's see. I got so many things coming through. I have to go back to that. All right, I saw a question. Let's see. What was the question? It says, here's my question. How much is the startup cost to start and run your own middleman business? Let me ask you this. Do you know which, because I haven't even gotten to that, so this is obviously somebody who watches the videos, and I appreciate that question. And what are you asking? Are you asking like for like whenever you finish the masterclass and then you get into the business, or are you talking about advertising for your business or stuff like that? So help me out a little. Kind of give me some context. Because the course itself is not very expensive. In fact, I've had students tell me that it's too cheap. So, and if you watch my videos, you've seen it. My students are saying it's too cheap, but that's okay. I want to help everybody to be able to afford it, and that's why it's like that. So, advertising, good question. Start your middleman business. So the way I teach you, it's about, so masterclass is soon going to be about 10 hours. So you get a week or two to go through it. You don't have to rush through it. We give you plenty of time. But I prefer if you could do it in about 2 weeks so that we can start doing some coaching and help you. But I do give you time to do it. We don't rush you. So whenever you complete the masterclass, by the way, guys, before I answer his question or her question, I'm not sure. I could barely see it on here. Okay. Yeah, it looks like, I don't know if it says, is it, I don't want to say the name wrong. I'll just say, looks like Mr. Watts, if I'm not mistaken. It's so small, it's hard to see, so I apologize if I can't see it that well. But because I can see long hair, but the picture's so small. All right. And, okay, gotcha. All right, so that's the nickname. Okay, gotcha. Let me ask you, are you already in the master class, by the way? Okay, he was in my, okay, you were in my last live training. Did you get into the master class? I keep hearing a sound. I'm not sure what it is. I'm on two different platforms right now, so, but I would say I'm on break, but I'm always on break. I'm sitting in here reading my book. A lot of you guys don't know I wrote a book. I wrote a book about personal finance. So, okay, so he didn't get the class. All right, so uh, let's see. So, and the best thing to do is to email me to get that link. So, because for everybody in the class, I want them to get it at a special price. So, email me to get that link at middlemanceo@gmail.com. Just email me to get that link, middlemanceo@gmail.com, so I can get that link to you because you were in the class, so it's only fair. Because if you go to the website, it's more expensive. But really quickly, all right. So he's talking about the middleman course. So and by the way, because I was talking earlier, I was saying, hey, I got students who actually are winning, and students who actually come on and share their testimony, and students who actually say I'm too cheap. This person who just commented was in the last training, and so they know I'm telling the truth. Because I'm not a guy that's going to get on here and lie to you, deceive you. That ain't something I do. I believe in integrity. I believe nobody should do that. So I'm always honest with you guys that, what I'm doing is, hey, what's up, Jordan? What I'm doing is it's not designed to make you rich. Although, yes, you can get rich. If you scale your middleman business, you can make some money. But that's not the intent. The intent is to help you to create enough money to take care of yourself and live a good life and have the things you want and not have to go to work to get it. So that means that you're free. So I gave you guys the example of if I wrote you a check for $10 million and you could cash it, but the only catch was as soon as you cash it, you die. Nobody in their right mind would cash it because we know intrinsically, without even thinking about it, that time is more important than money. So being that that's the goal, I teach people how to create a middleman business. So with a middleman business, the best way I could explain it is, have you ever heard of a company like Uber, Instacart, Lyft, DoorDash, Tinder, swipe left, swipe right, and so many other companies, even Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, these are all middleman companies. So what does that mean? A middleman company is a company that connects a customer to a service provider, but they don't actually do the work. So I have a middleman company that I run from home. That's why I'm in my home office, and I could be here all day eating popcorn, which I just finished doing, and reading my book because I get bored a lot. So when I get bored, I'll jump on here and start talking to people that want to change their lives because that's what I enjoy. So I almost fell asleep just a second ago because I got a couch in my office. I almost fell asleep on that thing. And so I jumped up. I was like, hey, let me jump on and see if anybody out here is on lunch or on break. And it's like, man, I'm sick of this work thing. I know it's not where I belong and it ain't freedom. And so here I am to save the day. And so a company like Uber, essentially Uber finds someone who needs a ride, and then they find a driver who's willing to drive them around. And then Uber is not the passenger, Uber's not the driver. And Uber's not going to pick you up. They're not going to drop you off. They're not going to do anything for you except tell you there's someone who needs your service and connect you. Now, when Uber does that and a transaction is made, Uber gets paid. That's how Uber makes money. So when you pay the driver for driving you around, a portion of that goes to Uber. Uber is a middleman company. They don't own the car. They don't own the driver. They don't own you. They simply connect you and get paid. Airbnb does not own the home. They don't own the furniture. They don't own any of it. They simply created a way to connect a person who wants to rent to a person who wants to have their home rented. And then when they match, they get paid. It's that simple, right? You swipe right, she swipe right, or he swipe right. That's a connection. Tinder's ready to get paid. And so I teach you how to do it from your phone. So you get to choose an industry. I give you like a list in the class of however many industries. I've even had students come to me and say, I got this industry I'm thinking about. One guy was like, and I talk to him a lot in coaching because I do stay with you guys. I don't just leave you out there. I'm with you all the way. Hit me up, text me, call me. Let's go. What are we working on? And he was like he's going to do, I think he said music producing, because he said there's a lot of studios out in California that do like music or something like that. Mastering, I think he said. And he was like, they charge a lot of money to master. So I'm just going to start finding customers who need the mastering. And I was like, what? Explain that to me again, because I don't know anything about that. And he was like, yeah. And I was like, wow, go with it. And that guy's been having success. He's been doing it now for like 2 weeks, I think. And I got students. I got a lot of students in Atlanta. I'm in Dallas. I got a lot of students in Atlanta. One of my students that's doing the best, he has a pressure washing service. So he used to do pressure washing. He stopped. Now he just connects customers and take deposits. And to me, that's a great way to live, because now I can make money without leaving my house, without doing the work, which makes me free. So so that's a middleman business. So what does it take to start one, like financially? Well, you're going to see in the masterclass, I don't like you guys, and you'll probably never hear this anywhere else. I don't like you to do paid advertisement right out the gate. So whenever you start your middleman business, I don't want you to do paid advertisements right away. And I have a reason for that, because I did that when I first started out, and it's not pretty. If you do paid advertisement, you're going to get calls. They are going to blow you up. The problem is that I didn't know what I was doing, so I had to learn my business first. So I always tell you guys, I'm going to give you organic ways to get customers up front. Now, for the first 30 days, take your time. Don't worry about making $1 million. The money's going to be there. What's more important is that you learn how to run the middleman business. And then as soon as you run it correctly and you're like, you know what, I could do this in my sleep. All right, now that you know how to do it, you got your ISPs, your service professionals, you got your teams, you got your script, you got your paperwork done, you're ready to go. All right, now bring in the customers. Let's go. Let's get paid. And that's when you turn up. But if you do paid advertisements up front, and I have a lot of students ask this, you're going to get blown up and you don't even have the connections you need. Your business isn't all the way set up. So my advice, spend 30 days getting your business in order, and then the money's going to come. There are customers all over the country who's waiting to pay you. They're ready to get booked with you. But if you're not set up correctly, you won't be able to do it. And so you don't want a bad customer experience. You don't want to, have ISPs angry with you because you don't have your information in order. Spend some time. Let me work with you on that. Let's set that up, and then we'll go make some money. So I hope that answered your question. So up front, you don't need much money for advertising. And the money that you're going to spend on advertising is actually money that's your business is going to make. So the advertising that you're going to pay for is really not going to come out of your account. So it doesn't matter how much money you have in your account. You won't be using that for advertising. It'll be the money that you make. Your business will actually pay for its own advertising. That's how I think. I don't want you to spend your own money. Keep your money. Let the business take care of the business. Somebody said, let's see. Right now I'm going to jump on it and send you that email. Okay, you got it. I'll be looking for that email as soon as I get it. I'll send you the link, the discount link. My only thing is don't share with anybody else because it is a discount link. So let's see. Somebody said, I don't care about being filthy rich. I just want to be free. Hello. Now, if we get rich while we're being free, hey, that's even better. But the goal is freedom. TaskRabbit, Instacart, Fiverr, you got it. Look, somebody already know what I'm talking about. Jordan already on this. These companies are already doing. These companies are worth billions of dollars, right? Let's just use, because what Jordan said. Jordan said Fiverr. All right, somebody said, currently on my break watching you, so yes, I want free. Come on, man. See, that get me excited, man, because you know what? I'm learning golf and I'm fishing all day, and a lot of times I'm out there by myself. I'm like, man, I need to get some people free. All my friends are at work. Now, let's get some people free so I can have some fishing buddies here in Dallas, right? I even got one of my students, he said he's going to be flying in a couple of weeks, and we're going to hang out over the weekend. And I'm going to teach him everything I know about business, about how to run his business. So, by the way, guys, coming up, well, you heard us, me and one of the potential students that's going to be signing up, talk about the masterclass, the live training. I'm going to be doing one this Thursday night. So 2 nights from now, Thursday night, 7 o'clock Texas time. Get there early because I only let a certain amount of people in, and I have my reasons for doing it. So, but get there early so you can learn step for step how to build a business from your phone. All you have to do is put middleman in the comments under any of my videos, and you will get the link. If you don't get it, we're full, but put middleman under the video so you could be in that live training. It's going to bless you and change your life. Somebody mentioned just now, I think it was Jordan, mentioned, by the way, guys, if you have a question or comment, drop it now before I get off because I got a meeting coming up in a few minutes. He mentioned Fiverr. Let me look this up. We're going to look up Fiverr's revenue last year because I want you guys to know that middleman companies are balling. All right, Fiverr's revenue last year was $361 million, 7% increase over the year before. And wow. All right, so Fiverr made $361 million last year. Now, does Fiverr do any of the work? No. Fiverr connects you to people who do the work. All right, another one I don't talk about a lot, Craigslist. Does Craigslist do work? Craigslist revenue last year. Wow. $694 million. What? Even I'm blown away. $694 million. We don't even need that. Just give us $1 million. All right. What's another middleman company? Somebody put in there. I saw, let's see, Uber. I know Uber's going to be ridiculous. Uber, $8.7 billion revenue last year. That's Billy's, not Milli Vanilli's. Only... Oh my God. You know, I've never thought about OnlyFans as a middleman company. Get out of here. What? OnlyFans is a middleman company. OnlyFans revenue 2023. $1.9 billion, yes, billion dollars. You know, I never thought of OnlyFans as a middleman company, but it is. Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, they're all middleman companies. OnlyFans is because OnlyFans does not record your videos, does not create your content. They simply create a platform where you can host your content and other people can come there. So they connect your viewers next to the content creators on their platform. They get paid. Goodness gracious, man. That I got to tell somebody. I'm talking about that in my live training. Oh, so Jordan said OnlyFans is thriving in so many ways. Oh my God. Wait, didn't, I could be wrong. Didn't Cash Me Outside, what was that little girl name? Bad Barbie, Bad Baby or something like that. I remember this from years ago. Didn't Cash Me Outside do something on, where is it? I'm about to find it. OnlyFans is on fire. What was that little girl name? Bad Bunny? Bad Baby? Oh, okay. It's Bad Baby. with BH is okay, I guess. All right, says on her OnlyFans she did no. What? Her OnlyFans platform, she did 18 million in her first month. In a month? Wow. Come on, guys. And she shared a payslip. Wow. Oh, she did share payslips. April of 2021. Oh my God. Wait a minute. Let me do some math real quick. 18, 25, 30. She might have made $40 million. Right? It said total of 38 million from April to November alone. Holy cow. Probably won't hear from her for a while. What am I doing? Jordan, you got me looking at OnlyFans, man. Come on now. But OnlyFans is thriving. That's a fact. And so what we've got to learn, we have to learn how to make money from our phones. OnlyFans is an example of that. Currently on break 2. I'm pumped for our call tomorrow, man. I'm excited too, Jordan. We're going to talk about how to build that business, get it thriving. Because the future is on the phones. As soon as we learn how to use these phones to make money, we're not going to have to go back to these jobs. But the key is we got to figure that out. We've got to figure out that the phones are the things that's going to make us free. They're going to make us prisoners if we're going through timelines. And because I always say to my students, look, use social media. Don't let it use you. Because my friends are always like, man, you didn't see such and such. No, I'm not scrolling. I just post what I need to post and I'm gone. I just use it as a billboard. I don't scroll. I don't have time. I'll get caught up in a story. I don't want to do that. So I don't tempt myself. I stay out of the way. All right. And yeah, OnlyFans is thriving. Man, that's crazy. The middleman business model is very simple to comprehend and create. 100%. 100%. It's easy, right? And Jordan and I, just to prove with you guys that I'm telling you the truth, Jordan and I are going to be having a one-on-one coaching session tomorrow. And so I'm not one of the coaches, because I've heard of like hard, like not so good coaching stories where I'm like, hey, I get left out. I've done the course. I got some questions. I have no one to talk to. That's not me. I'm successful with what I do, so I want to teach you to be successful with what you do. And since I know it works, because it works for me, then I believe it's going to work for you. And the best thing I could do for you is not charge $5,000 so you can get it. I know their course is $5,000, $10,000, $20,000. I'm not worried about that. I just want to help people and change their lives. But not charge you that. One of my students believe I should be charging $5,000, and but we'll see, maybe in the future. But get it now while you want to get that discount link. But the goal is to teach you how to be free, how to make money. Now, if you make $100,000 a year, that's awesome. Now, if you start spreading that business out, now you're at 200, 300. So you're making money. I just want to submit to you the idea that if you make 100 and on average, to be honest with you, if you make about 160 a year, your life will never be the same. That's only like 15,000 a month. That's it. You make that, you're going to live a really good life. Inflation's not going to bother you. You're going to get to enjoy life, right? You might not drive a Lambo or anything like that. So what? We don't need that. We can rent that, right? And so we can rent that stuff and give it back. We're more concerned about freedom than we are about anything else. All right. And so let's see. Very simple. And Jordan could tell you that, I meet with my students. I spend time with you. I don't just leave you hanging. Now imagine the OnlyFans cut. Come on, man. If I'm not mistaken, OnlyFans, I think they take about 20%. So out of that billion, they probably still cleared 200 million. Now, for those that are going, man, out of a billion, they only cleared 200 million. First of all, they don't do any of the work. Now, what you think? They don't do the work. They don't film the videos. They don't do any of that. Another platform that you might not think about is a middleman company. Netflix. Netflix, even though they do have their own studios, before they had their own studios, they would just borrow other people's content. So in building a middleman business, you're just going to borrow the company's labor. You're going to borrow the company's labor. You're going to borrow because I'm in the moving industry, so I book customers in the moving industry. So what does that look like? That looks like I don't have trucks, I don't have crew, I don't have dollies, I don't have boxes, I don't have equipment, I don't have any of that. And I don't want it. I'm just going to borrow the other company's trucks, crew, equipment, labor, time, supplies, all of that. They already have that. So I don't need it. I'm just simply going to say, hey, do you need a customer over there to move? Yes. Okay, I'm going to find you a customer. I'm going to take a deposit. You don't have to pay me anything. The customer's going to pay me, right? Whatever you make after that, the customer's going to give it to you. You make $1,000, good for you. Come back. I'll try to have more work for you. And I do this. Well, I don't do it now, but there was a time when I was doing this. And now that I have a VA, a virtual assistant, which I'm going to teach you guys to do, Jordan and everybody else, I'm going to teach you guys to hire a VA so the VA can take over your business. But before you do that, I want you to learn your business for about 3 to 6 months before we hire a VA. Let's see. Somebody said out of that 18 million. Look, OnlyFans, Jordan. Out of that 18, actually she made like almost 40. So 20% of that would be about $8 million. Think of that. And they didn't even do the videos. And how much work did they have to do? None. Exactly. That's what I'm telling people. All right. Says just sent the email to you. All right. I'll look for it in just a second when I get off here. How long did it take to make 10K a month with the middleman business? Now, keep in mind for me, it took about a year because I started in 2020 and because I wish I could say, man, I was making 10,000 out the gate. I know there's a lot of people on YouTube that'll lie to you, but I'm not going to do that. It took me about a year to do it because my first year I only made 77,000. And so I was at like 6,000 a month. But to be honest with you, I didn't know what I was doing. I was learning because there was no one to teach me. I had no coach. I had no class. I had nobody talking about this. So I had to learn on my own. I would contact customers. They hang up. They don't want to. All right. Don't say that again. All right. I was learning on my own. Contact ISPs. You know, hey, the customer said that wasn't a good job. I just learned on my own. And so it took me about a year to get to about 10,000, which is only like 120 a year. And then we passed that big time. So, but for you, you can do it sooner because you get to learn from me. Now, I can't give you a time that wouldn't be fair to you. That wouldn't be fair to me or anybody else. But I will say that, like, as soon as you get to about, I want to say, maybe about $300 a day, you'll be close to that. Now, if you're doing $150, $100 bookings, that's just 3 customers a day. Once you start promoting your business at a high level, you'll be making $300 easily. There were days when I first started out and I didn't know what I was doing. There were days I was doing like $1,200, $1,500, just booking for moving companies. Now, the way you're going to grow is you're going to, let's say you only make 5,000, whatever industry you choose, you only make 5,000 a month in your city. Because you do it from the phone, you can choose another city and go to that one. You can choose another city. Now you got 3 cities, 5,000 each, which ain't a lot. You probably do more, but I'm just being hypothetical. Now you got 15,000 from 3 cities. You're not in any of those other 2 cities, and you're just dispatching. So then you hire VA, they take over everything, you pay them, you back off, right? So that's the freedom. So you can do it. It's up to you how quickly you move. I just encourage you to move quickly. But the most important thing is not going to be like how much money you're going to make right away. It's going to be how quickly can you learn your system so you could grow your business and then exit the day-to-day. So I used to work about probably about an hour and a half, 2 hours a day most times. And then since January, after hiring a virtual assistant, I do 1 hour a week. Because the virtual assistant can run the business. It's not hard. It's just, hey, a customer's going to contact and need a quote. They're going to give them a quote. Customer's going to say, I'll take it. I'll accept it. Okay, pay the deposit. They're going to accept the deposit. And then they're going to take the information, put it in the system like Booking Koala. And then it's going to dispatch it and say, hey, to all the 10 ISPs in this area, independent service professionals, we got a job on this day, this time, paying this much. Who wants it? And somebody's going to say, I got it. And you're done. So, but the ISP is going to take over that part. So, let's see. I got a couple minutes left. Read through these real quick, guys, and I get out. So again, by the way, if you or somebody you know could benefit from having a middleman business, I think we're about to start a movement. I've been kind of modest about it, but I really think we're about to start something serious here because people are hurting financially. People are seeing that these jobs are laying you off. Oh my God, did you hear about the company in Atlanta that laid people off via text message? I thought that Elon Musk was savage when he let people drive from their house to work to get to the gate to swipe the badge and find out that it didn't turn green and stayed red, fired them at the gate. Are you kidding me? At least fire me over email so I don't have to come up here and cry. I could cry at home and then explain to my family. And one guy commented, I'll never forget this. You can look it up online. In fact, I'll do it for you because you know I don't like making stuff up. Let me see if I can find this guy's comment. Tesla. I'm going to see if it pops up because I don't really know how to find it. But the guy was saying, don't they know that we have family? Don't they know that we have lives we have to take care of? And I was like, don't you know that these corporations don't care about you? Don't you know that it's about the bottom line? They don't care about you. Man, I wish I could find that guy's comment. I don't even know how to find it. All right, somebody posted, Tesla just fired me and several employees at my warehouse. This is new to me, so I don't know what this is going to say. It says you also just fired. Somebody said the great purge is happening. There was a company in Atlanta, because I don't know how I'm going to find that comment, but I know it was along the lines of the guy saying, don't they know that we have family? Don't they know? There was a company in Atlanta. And these people, there was a comment I saw somewhere, and they said they fired us via text message. What? Where is it? I'm trying to find it. HelloFresh. That sounds like a food company. HelloFresh firing people in Atlanta via text message. They aren't even talking to you anymore. So, again, I keep telling you that your parents' economy that they lived in, your grandparents' economy, where there were safe, secure jobs, it was a good idea to buy a house. Companies kept you for 30, 40 years. Those days are gone. Chris Brown tried to tell us. He said these companies ain't loyal. We have to believe that. We have to know that we have to protect ourselves. All right, comments really quickly. Says, let's see. I think somebody asked, would I go to the bank when it comes to starting a middleman business? These banks have I see. These banks have convinced people to save all their money so they can lend it out to people. Come on, man. See, Jordan got this. I ain't worried about Jordan. Jordan's going to be in the 10% because the 10% is not the rich. The 10% is the mentally rich. Everything starts in the mindset. I keep telling you, it's whatever you believe. When people are saying, like when I'm playing basketball, right? And I'm playing with somebody and they're typically a good shooter and I'm not great, but we're having fun. And so I hear the guy saying, man, I can't hit a shot today. I'm off today. And I say, you're right. And my boy was like, why you say that every time I say that? I say, because it's whatever you say it is. Who am I to try to convince you that it's not? Whatever story you tell yourself is the truth for you. It might not be the truth for everyone else, but it's true for you. And so, let's see. I keep telling people, banks saving money in a bank account is one of the worst things you could do. But I know the 90% on the internet, they're going to come at me. I know, I get it all the time. No, you have to have an emergency account. You have to have a rainy day account. No, you have to have cash flow. Get cash flow, and you won't have to worry about that stuff. Get yourself some cash flow. How do you do that? Start a business. Let the business grow. The business is going to make money. What if I have a rainy day? The business is making money. What if I have an emergency? The business is making money. You get it now? I was talking to someone one day, and we were having a conversation, and he said, man, he said, if it wasn't for a savings account, me and my family would have been in a lot of trouble. And I say, yeah, that's one way to look at it, but there's also another way, because the savings account eventually is going to be depleted. I said, look, what about this? When you had the job before you got laid off, what if you would have used the money to create passive income or to create additional source of revenue? Then if you'd had the emergency, you would have been okay, right? And he was like, I guess I would have. Exactly. Excuse me. Exactly, right? Let's see, people are not aware that when you put money in the bank and keep it there for 40 years, the money is dead. All day long. It's a graveyard. I keep saying it. And I'm not telling you you shouldn't have any money in the bank. I'm just telling you don't focus on saving every dollar in the bank. Use the money. $6,000 a month to be home? Come on. That's what I was thinking a couple years ago, too. I was like, man, this ain't bad. And I'm seeing, man, it's the fact that at your job, you're a base salary that won't change no matter what you do. And if it does change a couple of cents, they can fire you whenever they want. That's scary to live on hoping you get the paycheck from your job. Man, that's beyond scary. That is terrifying. Because I know the job has all the leverage. They can call me in and say, hey, we can't give you that raise. And what can I do? Because I need the few dollars they give me. I have no other source of income. Right? That's why I'll tell you, you can't afford to have your job as your only source of income. It's prison. You can't do it. Can't do it. Cannot do it. So your job cannot be your only source of income. You must get away from that. So, all right, guys, I got to go. I've been here long enough. I hope everybody have a wonderful, blessed day. Join me in the free live training. Put middleman in the comments or DM me, message me, email me, middlemanceo info@gmail.com. I don't care how you reach me. Find a way to do it. For all the students that are in the class already and who are on here or who may watch the videos, I appreciate each and every one of you, and I look forward to working with you. Again, just a reminder, as soon as you finish the course, message me. You'll get my assistant, Cynthia, but message me, and let's go ahead and set up your training sessions. Because once you finish the course, you know everything to do. Now I want to walk with you step by step to do it. That's where we need to go. So let's start making money. We got guys that come right out of the class making money, and some go faster than others. So I'm not fussing about those who don't go as fast. I know it's a transition, but I promise if you just stick with me, we're gonna get there. So we're gonna get you there. So it says yep. You don't want to be sitting there. Thank you, man. I appreciate you guys. You don't want to be waiting on a paycheck. That's too dangerous. Let's do something different and change our lives. All right, guys, I got to go. Have a wonderful, blessed day, and see you guys in live training. If you're already in the masterclass, if you don't mind, share this channel and share the class with somebody else. Like invite them to the live training. Tell somebody else about it so we can get them trained too. All right, have a wonderful, blessed day, guys. See you on the next video. And remember, don't trust your paycheck. Don't rely on it. These companies are not loyal. Treat them like a side piece the same way they treat you. Move on when you don't need them. So, see you guys in the live training. Middleman in the comments below. Peace.